Hello everyone, we're going to look at the 50 States book, talking about Pennsylvania. I definitely have a special place in my heart for this state, since I've been there a few times, and I'm hoping I'll get to go back there this summer. So let's go ahead and look at the information here first. So it says, welcome to the Keystone State. A keystone is a central wedge in an arch that locks all the other stones in place. And so Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, was the central state of the original 13 colonies, playing an important role in the history of the nation. As the birthplace of independence and the Constitution itself, Pennsylvania is something of a spiritual home for history lovers. There are plenty of chances to travel back in time. Visitors can walk the Gettysburg battlefield, see the iconic Liberty Bell, or venture within the hollowed walls of Liberty Hall. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Aside from history, the second state has a lot more to offer. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are thriving university cities with big music, theater, and art scenes. Or for a chance to get away from it all, you can head to Pennsylvania's stunning forests and mountains. And if you really want to escape the hustle and bustle, then take a trip to Lancaster County and discover the Amish community's simple, peaceful way of life. Which I've actually been to the Amish country. It's beautiful. Okay. So moments to remember. It says February 28th, 1681, King Charles II of England pays a debt by granting the Quaker William Penn 45,000 acres of land in the New World. The king names the area of Pennsylvania to honor Penn's father. September 5th, 1774, the First Continental Congress, a meeting of representatives from 12 of the 13 original colonies, secretly assembles in Philadelphia's Carpenter's Hall to discuss their grievances against the British. July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress signs the Declaration of Independence in what is now called Independence Hall, Philadelphia. July 1st through the 3rd, 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg takes place. This proves a turning point in the Civil War, with Union forces defeating the Confederates' plan to invade Pennsylvania and take the North. May 1876, Philadelphia hosts the Centennial Exposition on the country's 100th anniversary, a showcase of manufacturing and technological marvels. It introduces the telephone and typewriter. March 2nd, 1903, Milton Hershey breaks ground in Derry Church for his new chocolate factory. November 8th, 1938, Crystal Byrd Fawcett becomes the first African-American woman elected to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. June 6, 1939, Carl Stotts puts together teams of neighborhood children for a summer baseball program that he names the Little League. March 28, 1979, the most serious nuclear energy accident in the U.S. occurs when the 3 Mile Island plant experiences a partial meltdown. Yikes. Okay, key facts. So the capital is Harrisburg. Largest cities are Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Allentown. Bird, ruffed grouse. Named for the father of the founder of the state, William Penn. The name means Penn's Woodland, or some people say Penn's Woods. Statehood date, December 12th, 1787. Statehood order 2, flower mountain laurel. Kind of looks like a seashell in a way. Postal code PA. Region Mid-Atlantic. Main time zone Eastern. Tree Eastern Hemlock. And the state motto is virtue, liberty, and independence. I like that. All right. So for famous people, I'm going to just get up here first. So we have Jerry Pinkney, born in 1939. This Philly-born book illustrator has won the Caldecott Medal, 5 Caldecott Honors, and 5 Coretta Scott King Awards. Then we have Nellie Bly, Elizabeth Cochran. 1864 is when she was born, died in 1922. This early feminist and investigative journalist made a record-breaking trip around the world in 72 days. Wow. And then over here, unfortunately, they got cut off, but that is Andy Warhol. He was born in 1928 and died in 1987. He was born in Pittsburgh. Warhol was a leading artist of the 1960s pop art movement. and they have an Andy Warhol art museum in Pittsburgh, which I didn't get a chance to go to because I wasn't in Pittsburgh very long when I went. But maybe next time. And then, oh, we've got Billie Holiday. Oh, I love her. She was born in 1915, died in 1959. Philly native Lady Day was one of the most influential jazz singers of her time. She had such a unique voice. Love her music. And there's Roberto Clemente. He was born in 1934, died in 1972. This National Baseball Hall of Famer broke batting records playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Very well-known baseball player. You may have heard of her. This is Taylor Swift. She was born in 1989. The Grammy-winning music superstar was raised in Wyomissing and sang at a Philadelphia 76ers game at age 12. All right, so those are all the famous people. Now let's look at our map here. So I'm going to zoom in a little more. Why don't we start at Philadelphia? So Philadelphia is right here on the edge. And if you zoom in, we've got the Liberty Bell. And you've seen a picture of me by it. This historic bell rang out from 1754 until it cracked in 1846. And then Philly food. Hoagies, cheesesteaks, Cracker Jacks, tasty cakes, and soft pretzels were all invented here. And I like all of those things. And you know, I definitely eat a few of those when I go. I love Philly cheesesteaks. They're so good, and I know the right place to go. I always go to the same place. So tasty. Anyway, now I'm getting hungry. Historic capital. Philly was the nation's capital for 10 years while a permanent capital was built. The Philadelphia Mint, the oldest coin producer in the country, this mint can make more than 13 billion coins a year. I almost went to the Philadelphia Mint. I've been to the one in D.C., which was interesting. They make dollar bills there, where the Philadelphia, they make the coins. So I'm sure it's cool. Okay, so that's where Philadelphia is. So if we make our way up here, so there's Philadelphia. And then we have Allentown right here. Boontown, the home of 18th century pioneer Daniel Boone, can be visited in Baumstown. And then we've got Ringing Hill Park. The rocks of the 7-acre boulder field ring when they are struck by hammer. And then up here it says Making Music in Nazareth. Learn how guitar is made at the Martin Guitar Factory. We have Bethlehem is home to the Just Born Candy Factory, where marshmallow peeps are made. So you see those at Easter. On New Year's Eve, a giant Peeps chick is dropped from a crane. See? And then a fork in the road, literally. A 9-foot dinner fork stands at an intersection in Centerport. That I need to see. And then we have Williamsport. This city hosted the first World Series of Little League Baseball in 1947. We have the Pennsylvania State Capitol. President Teddy Roosevelt described Pennsylvania's Capitol as the handsomest building I ever saw. It is really nice. And then if we move over, ooh, covered bridges. My mom loves covered bridges. Pennsylvania has the most covered bridges of any state in the country, which I saw quite a few when I was there, especially when you drive through the countryside. We have Gobbler's Knob is famous for furry resident Punxsutawney Phil, a groundhog who predicts how long winter will last. And then we have Newcastle is home to the country's 2 largest fireworks factories. City life. Forbes.com named Pittsburgh America's most livable city in 2014. So this is where Pittsburgh is. So pretty much for me, last summer I drove from Philly and then we went across to Pittsburgh. So I kind of just did pretty much straight across the state, but I didn't actually get to go up north. Anyway, Emoticons. The first two internet emoticons, the smiley and frowny faces, were invented at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. Cool. And I've been using a lot of those lately to at least express some emotion to you guys while we're doing this whole online thing. And then we have Falling Water. Frank Lloyd Wright designed this house built over a waterfall in the Laurel Highlands. I was so close to that, too. I could have seen that. Oh, well. Banana Split. This famous sundae was first served in Latrobe in 1904. Leap the Dips. The world's oldest operating wooden roller coaster is in Lakemont Park in Altoona. Gettysburg. The famous site of the battle hailed as a turning point in the Civil War. Valley Forge, and this is where, if I go this summer, that's where I'll be staying, which is really over here. It's pretty close to Philly. George Washington soldiers spent a cold winter here in 1777. Let's move down here, just because there's a lot of stuff in this area. Sweet Streets. The streetlights in Hershey, chocolate capital of America, are shaped like candy kisses. See? Here's the little Hershey kiss. How fun is that? Capital city, Lancaster served as the nation's capital for one day. And then Lancaster County, that's what they call it. The locals call it that way. And because I've been to Pennsylvania a few times, I got to obey. Is known as the pretzel basket of America. In the bag, 6 potato chip companies have factories along the potato chip belt. Kennett Square, the mushroom capital of America, holds an annual mushroom festival. And I think I covered it all, everyone. So there you have it. There is a lot to see in Pennsylvania. And, you know, I saw a lot more, too, because I went to a lot of those different battle sites during the French and Indian War. And also, that's where the memorial is from the 9/11, what happened there. So you can also visit that. Of course, that's kind of a sad place to go, but it's also, I think, important for people to visit and acknowledge. So there's a lot to see. So I hope you'll want to go to Pennsylvania someday. And I definitely want to go back. So see you later. Sorry, guys. I forgot, though. I said see you later too soon. I forgot about the additional things you may need to know for Pennsylvania. So, like we said, the state motto is virtue, liberty, and independence. And then the state fish is brook trout. The state insect is the Pennsylvania firefly. And that's the state where I first saw fireflies, so that's pretty exciting. Their area in square miles is 44,817. Their highest point is 3,213 feet, and their lowest point is sea level. And you'll have to look at their state seal, because it's a little different than what their flag looks like. So you might want to look that up. Otherwise, that is it. You should have all the other information. All right, now I'm done. See ya.